I've hired people, and I'll tell you the story. I'll give you the story from a buddy of mine. He started a company. He was doing social media management. He made some posts on the internet looking for some, people to help me run these social media websites for clients. Must have a college degree. Well, the people with college degrees have salary requirements, so he hired him. He said that he would get his phone would be ringing off the hook from people with problems. Hey, I got a problem. They posted this. Hey, I got a problem. The company wants this. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Eventually said, if you can't do the job, then I need to find someone else. So he fires him. Puts another post up. Needs somebody who knows social media, can run marketing, must have a college degree. What happens? Same thing. Phone call after phone call after phone call. Well, now he's out of money. He spent a bunch of money training these people. He wasn't getting output. So he just said, looking for people who know social media, $10 an hour. He gets a couple people who had moved from middle America to California to find their dream in acting. Mm-hmm. And he says, here's the job. Go for it. Not a single phone call. Now he's worried. Uh-oh. Something must be going wrong because they're not telling me anything. He comes back. Everything okay? It's all good, boss. And he was like, no problems, no problems. Well, there was this one thing from one of these restaurants, but we took care of it. And so what he said was, these young people that moved from the middle of the country to California of their own volition with no college, with no education, took the initiative. It wasn't the college degree. It was that they knew, they were confident in themselves to figure out and solve this problem. Whereas the people who went to college were the people who did what they were told by their parents. And now they're, 24 with no experience in the real world, and they're panicking because they don't know how to solve these problems, and they're asking you to solve it for them. Why? The kids who went to college would always go to their professor or their teacher and say, what do I do now? Yeah. And so what I see happening in this country is a lot of that from college. People
Absolutely
who are
right.
indoctrinated into saying, tell me what to do.
But it's not even the college level. It's happening down in high schools and middle schools. And this is one of the things I don't like about this standardized testing. Because what standardized testing is doing is creating robotic thinking. We have to teach you to be able to pass a test. We're not teaching you to have critical thinking skills, to be an independent thinker. And then, of course, you need to go to college. And if we make college free, then everyone goes to college. And then what happens to the productivity of people? That's exactly what happens. One of the things that I would always talk about when I was in the military, I want a soldier that's a fire and forget weapon system. And that's what you're talking about. It's a fire and forget weapon system. So it's the same as when you take that pistol or that rifle and you pull the trigger. As long as you have aimed it in the right place, the bullet's going to hit the target. And so that's the type of people that we should be trying to develop, are fire and forget weapon system individuals that understand critical thinking, that understand independent thought, and we're rewarding them for being independent thinkers. But what progressivism, socialism, statism, communism, Marxism, whatever you want to call it, what it is creating is a collective groupthink. When I came in here, you had Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Love it.
Star Trek: The Next Generation. Remember the Borg?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what was the Borg? The Borg was a collective body. No individuality whatsoever. What did the Borg say? Resistance is futile. You will...
What is it? Your
you
technology
will
and
assimilate.
No, your technology and your culture will be assimilated.
That's it.
Resistance is futile.
And that's exactly what we see happening, young people, is that you have this collective mentality and mindset that does not want you to be a fire and forget weapon system. It wants you to be part of a cancel culture. It wants you to be part of a social justice warrior, clan or whatever. You've got to be able to go out and think and do and be able to survive on your own. Instead of sitting around for the authoritarians to say that we're going to give you some free health care. We're going to give you some free college education.
What's fire and forget? That's like you shoot and you just accept it's done.
It's exactly,
you're on to the next
exactly
move.
what he said. Hiring someone that you tell them, here's your task and purpose, and they got it.
Oh,
they don't
no
come
feedback.
back. They don't come back and keep bugging you. You ever read the thing Message to Garcia? It's a little short pamphlet. Read the little Message to Garcia. There was a gentleman by the name, the gentleman in the military that was chosen to deliver a message to a Cuban fighter named Garcia. Where's Garcia? You just got to find him. What does Garcia look like? You'll figure it out. And the guy took the message and he found Garcia.
And
that's what we want.
And what I've experienced when I've hired college grads. I've been told you have to tell me what to do. No joke. I hired someone once and they were like, I hired them for a specific job, administrative role. And then I remember one day they came to me and said, I don't know how to do this. What am I supposed to do? And I was like, if I knew how to do it, I would not have hired you to do it. Yeah. So listen, you've got all the time in the world, figure it out. reasonably, I expect you to figure it out quickly. But I understand this, like you go to school for certain things. I understand you can learn. This specific program was not something you learned in college, but you can spend the day figuring out the software. They couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They just said, just tell me how to do it. I don't know how to do it either.
And that's why, back when I was growing up, the old folks down south, they used to say, that boy got a whole lot of book learning, but he ain't got no common sense. And that's what they were talking about.
The difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so if there's a threat that I see for us as a country, is getting back to that sense of rugged individualism and getting back to that sense of I can, and not sitting around and waiting for someone to tell me what to do, because that collective mentality will always destroy.
Yeah, I feel like we need like an emergency to whip people into that frenzy of do it.
Well,
that's why y'all are here.
Yeah,
that's why y'all are here, and that's what y'all are doing. That's what y'all are professing. That's why I am so humble that you guys would, ask me to come up for
Texas.
No, look, this is awesome because, again, this is that Logan's Run moment. When you find the old guy out there in the sanctuary and you bring him back to the young city, and they impart all of this wisdom.
I'm telling you, man, I want to start a new political movement, party, whatever. I don't care about party politics, but I want to involve the brightest minds. Do a popular win, like it's just a popularity contest at this point. Make Tim president. I'll be the vice president.
Never
Come help
happen.
us, advise us.
And maybe
I don't want to do it, but I feel like it has to happen.
You guys can make me Secretary of Defense.
Let's do it.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I know some people we could bring on.
Never going to be a president or a politician.
Maybe we don't need a president. Like it's just a better system.
But this is the movement that you all are creating because you are a bright and shining light. Like it says in the Bible in Matthew chapter 5, you're the shining city that sits upon a hill. You're that light that sits on the lampstand that you cannot put a cover over. And you guys have got to continue to get this message out here because that's my concern. Remember what I said? There was once upon a time when I could sit down with my parents and watch the Grammys. I can't do that. There's no way that my daughters are 27 and 24. There's no way I would have sat with my daughters.
That would have been really awkward.
It was just totally awkward.
Performance from Cardi B. With
totally awkward. I can't sit down
You know,
and watch. I don't even, some of these Super Bowl halftime shows, I don't watch it with them.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it alone.
Well, so here's the
that was hard to watch.
The Grammys is a really good issue to bring up in that our culture is completely fragmented and divided. You're here saying this is the message, we got the message out. And I think about some of the things that we've talked about in terms of the armed forces, and especially in terms of the transgender issue. And I mean, those are extremely divisive topics where you even challenge some of these orthodoxies on the left and they get violent. There are certain things, sure, where we've seen people on the right.
But you know why they get violent?
No answer.
That's right.
Yeah.
A hit dog, my dad used to say, a hit dog will holler.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's the when people can't find a logical course of action, they become angry.
Right.
Yep.
But if you're giving it the spurs and it has a place to go, it's not going to scream. It's just going to go.
Yep.
But my concern is when you look to the Grammys, when you look to the establishment, the major marketing companies, the social media companies, they're the Borg. They're the ones who are saying assimilate or else.
Yeah.
And many of these people that we used to see on YouTube, we did a members only segment the other day about this. The anti-SJWs, we called them. Some of them have just capitulated and given in. And now they won't necessarily agree with everything from the woke establishment, but they're certainly no longer critical of the establishment. They've shifted gears, and now they go for soft targets because they're scared. They're scared the machine will come for them, will destroy them. If we don't have people who are willing to stand up and be on the front line.
There are more of us than there are of them. And I truly believe that. And one thing that my mom taught me was that a man must stand for something or else he'll fall for anything. And so to those people that are running away from their, fundamental principles and values, you can never acquiesce, compromise, appease, or negotiate enough with the far left, with these the woke council culture. There's nothing that you can give to them which will ever satiate their appetite for more control and more power. So at some point in time, you're going to have to make a stand. At some point in time, you're going to have to say enough. I mean, Pepe Le Pew, Speedy Gonzalez,
Joe Biden is
Dr.
more.
Stefan Molyneux. I don't get it.
No. Joe Biden is a bigger abuser than Pepe Le Pew was. You can see the videos of Joe Biden grabbing the women and sniffing them.
Tara Reid?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
and
still on the table.
And these stories were buried. and Pepe Le Pew is the offensive thing, but Cardi B is not. Listen. Pepe Le Pew was prancing around saying "Mon chéri" or whatever.
Yeah, I learned a little French from Pepe Le Pew.
And listen. No, but look, if you want to criticize old art or old cultural tropes, I got no problem with that. There are a lot of things from the 20s we don't show these days, 30s, 40s, 50s. That's fine by me. But don't come out with this Cardi B stuff, which again, I also honestly don't care about. I won't watch it. You want to do that? You can do it. I'll be somewhere else.
Yeah.
But listen, how are you going to show that and then claim Pepe Le Pew is the more, the bad thing?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, you know what I think is going to come from when you look at comedians out there like Jerry Seinfeld and others that are saying that this is going too far. I mean, Mel Brooks and the movie Blazing Saddles, you couldn't show Blazing Saddles.
I love that was the first R-rated movie I was allowed to watch.
You
I wasn't allowed to watch
Blazing-
any.
I mean,
But my dad let me watch that one.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
It was just hilarious.
Just what a good.
I mean, how long until Quentin Tarantino gets banned? I mean, come on. That dude uses racial slurs every chance he gets. It's in his movies.
Well,
it's in art context.
It depends on if he bows down to the gods of the left.
I don't think he will.
Well,
I don't like
but maybe a lot of them do. A lot of them do.
So, but think about it. Sarah Silverman has come out and said this is too much.
Well, she got
Bill
canceled.
Maher. Yeah, Bill Maher has come out and you start listening to some of the things that he's saying. It's going too far.
I like Bill Maher. I think he's got Trump derangement syndrome, and he's too wrapped up in. Let me stop there. It's the blue pill and the red pill. People think red pill means you're a Republican. It doesn't. It means you've recognized the narrative from the media is, often complete BS. Bill Maher still believes too much of it, but it's like he's in that, blue pilled room looking out the window and kind of seeing the freedom and recognizing the problem, but he doesn't break through. It takes him a long time.
Yeah, and eventually he will come around because, again, there is no Trump boogeyman out there. And the further and further they get away from the Trump boogeyman, all of a sudden they're going to reach out and see, this ain't working.
Well, they're trying to do Tucker now. Brian Stelter.
Yeah.
He's like, Tucker is the new Trump. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/TimcastIRL, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content, segments you can't get anywhere else, go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.